This week, we bring you the latest news coming straight out of CinemaCon about all things Avengers Doomsday and Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're also joined by a special guest from Hawkins Media to talk about one of Kansas City's newest family-friendly events, St. Joseph RetroCon. Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse. Warning.
Red alert.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger!
That's the emergency alert.
This episode is full of spoilers for some of the latest and greatest nerdy movies and shows.
Spoilers.
Listener discretion is advised. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Infinite Taylorverse podcast. I'm Billie Taylor.
And I'm Taylor Oxner.
And this week, we're back to talk about all the fun things happening out there in the pop culture universe. We've got a little bit of news to talk about. And then towards the end of the show, you're going to hear a conversation with some folks over at St. Joseph RetroCon, which is an event coming up here in the Kansas City area on the weekend of May 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be a good time. But before we jump into any of that, Taylor, what have you been nerding out about this week?
Two things. One, WrestleMania happened yesterday and the day before of us recording this. So there was that. But also the Marvel Maximum collection. I got it for my birthday. It's
nice.
Pretty awesome.
And that's the one that you talked about where it's a lot of the old arcade-style side-scrolling games, right?
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I've beaten...
That sounds awesome.
3 of the games so far. I've beaten X-Men, Pride of the X-Men, the one that everyone's played at the arcades at some point or another. I beat the Avengers game, the old one with Captain America, Vision, Hawkeye, and Iron Man. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do,
And then I beat the Spider-Man Separation Anxiety game, where this is the first game ever you can be Venom.
Okay, that's cool.
So it was a lot of fun.
Is that collection fully classic games, or are there any new games in that retro style?
No, it's just old games. It comes with the X-Men game, the Avengers game, Maximum Carnage, Separation Anxiety. It comes with that X-Men and Spider-Man game. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where you fight arcade. There's that. It came with the Silver Surfer NES game. And that's it.
Oh, sweet. The name of it's the Marvel Maximum Collection, is that what you said?
Yeah, it's like $25. 25 or 35.
Sweet.
I don't remember which. It was fairly cheap though. It was under $40. I remember that.
That's awesome.
And you can play with people in your house, or you can play online with some of the games too. Like the X-Men game, you can play online with people, which I think's insane.
Oh, okay.
But it's cool.
That is cool. I'm not really playing anything right now. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, it's like fun in between a larger game kind of games, because you can beat most of the games in under an hour or an hour. Like we sat there, I played, and I do infinite lives because who can beat those games without that? You know what I mean? It's crazy because they're quarter burners for a reason. And yeah, we just play those, and I give the other controller to Miles, and we just play through the games. A lot of Marvel character representation, like the characters I was like, oh man, that character's in this game as villains and stuff like that I was very surprised about. Do you remember the living monolith being in that X-Men game, or Wendigo being in it?
I guess I don't.
Both of those characters are the main boss of their level. It's weird. Because they're both serving Magneto, which is super odd.
Yeah.
The Red Skull is the main bad guy in the Avengers game. And at one point, you fight Ultron, which is pretty cool. The old version of Ultron looks like really robot-y.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. There's one point you fight the Living Sphinx in the X-Men game. They're funny, the characters they chose to pick.
Yeah, that does sound like a good time, though.
It's a lot of fun, a lot of nostalgia, especially for me, because I don't know about you, but even comic book video games, even when they were bad, I loved them because I could get more of those characters. I played a lot of very bad video games that were licensed, like the Superman 64. That's a bad game.
Oh, yeah. Very bad. I loved that one too.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like at least you get to play as those characters or adjacent to those characters. But this collection was really cool. I really want them to make a collection of X-Men Legends. I think that would be sick, where I could
That
play
would be,
both of the X-Men Legends games. Would be really fun to play again. I haven't played them since like a PS2.
yeah.
So,
Hey, how was your Super Bowl? How was WrestleMania?
oh, it was incredible. Not to go into every single match, but there were very few bad matches, a very high caliber entertainment. Brock Lesnar retired after his
Yep, yep.
match, which was insane. Bianca Belair is pregnant. She came out and showed her belly. John Cena wears a suit now because he's retired and he was the host of the show, which is the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah.
The CM Punk Roman Reigns match was incredible. Just absolutely unbelievable match. There's a reason it was the headliner. And yeah, it was 2 days of a lot to process. A lot of storylines were closed out, a lot of storylines started. They finally closed out a couple of things that I was like, oh, thank goodness that's done
Yeah.
with. Oh, the Demon came back and wrestled for the first time in 3 years, I believe, and won, which was a big deal. I'm trying to think of anything else. Cody Rhodes beat Randy Orton in the main event for Saturday night. Yeah, it was a good time.
Nice. I guess my nerding out, I have two things as well. This weekend was my son Oliver's birthday. He's 12 now, which is crazy. He wanted two things. He wanted friends to come over and he wanted to watch Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame with his friends. I'm like, "Oh, sweet, heck yeah, let's do that." And he wanted to build Legos together. So for his party, we, had foods and cupcakes and all the things and watched Infinity War and Endgame. And it was awesome because I haven't watched those movies in quite some time at this point. When they were new, I watched them 2 or 3 times each, and then I probably haven't touched them since then. So, it was cool to watch them again, especially knowing that later this year we get Doomsday and all that. They're both so good, and he had never watched them before, so there were a few times when he's getting a little teary-eyed, and I was right there with him even though I'd already seen them. Which, funny enough, part of our news in a little bit, they've announced that they're gonna be re-releasing Endgame into theaters with some new footage added, stuff they deleted out, plus stuff that's gonna connect to Doomsday. So, it's gonna be a longer version of Endgame coming to theaters before Doomsday, which I'm like,
Wow.
"Dang it, now I kinda wish I didn't just watch it because 'cause I'm probably gonna wanna watch that again with the added footage
Yeah.
or whatever."
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, that was fun to get to watch with him for the first time for him and from his little buddies. It was also cool to tell which one of his buddies were the nerdiest ones, kinda like us, because one of his little friends was, like, quoting the whole movie the whole time, and I was a little proud of him. Oh, and then the other thing, he wanted to build some Legos. Most of his birthday presents were Legos, and I recently got it's the set from Spider-Man 2 where he's out in front of the train holding the train back with webs so it doesn't fall. And so that's the set I was building with him, but that was kinda cool to get to build that set. Yeah, so most of my nerding out this weekend had to do with Marvel, rewatching those 2 Avengers movies and building a cool Lego set with my kid. Yeah, that was my nerding out, and we had a lot of Marvel fun.
Good. I forgot to even say this. This weekend, we went and saw that Mario movie.
Oh, yeah, wasn't that fun?
It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of Mario 2 representation.
Oh, I know. With Birdo and,
The frog and the little ninjas,
yep, and then a lot of, Nintendo, but not necessarily Mario related stuff, which I thought was kinda cool.
like Pikmin.
Yeah, and then Star Fox being kind of a main character towards the end.
Yeah, for sure. They totally
And
set
then
up
did you
a
guys stick
movie
around for
with
the
him.
after credits?
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
yeah, they did.
I think they would make a pretty cool movie.
Oh, for sure. It's funny, this is kind of later in the news. Speaking of Nintendo movies, the new live action Legend of Zelda movie, they announced over this weekend that they're done filming. Now they're just in the post process, editing everything. I'm so looking forward to that.
It's good.
I hope it's done well. But back over to this Marvel stuff, we talked a little bit about how they're going to re-release Endgame, which was kind of the first thing I had on my news here. But the next thing is CinemaCon happened last week, and they released the first trailer of Doomsday at CinemaCon. And for the first time ever, nothing has been leaked. And I was wondering about that. And I actually earlier this morning read an article that they have this new technology it's from the point of view of the stage. And people in the crowd were wondering, why do I keep getting hit with these green, laser pointer lights? there's this new technology that they set up, and if it senses a phone recording, it literally shoots a green laser pointer at a person, and it kinda messes with your phone's ability to record, but also it's indicating, "Hey, there's the person recording," and the security goes and escorts them out. Like, dang, that's crazy.
Yeah. I thought could have sworn that we were gonna get a trailer by now, or at least a
Oh, I
teaser
know.
trailer.
For sure. So there's a group of people that have seen this trailer, and a bunch of people have made descriptions of the trailer, and it sounds like it kinda opens with the X mansion in ruins, and they're talking about something that's gonna be impossible to stop, and then it pans over and shows a very scarred up Doctor Doom, and it sounds like Thor's giving a grim speech about loss and sacrifice, and then the same trailer shows the Fantastic Four meeting our MCU heroes, and then it flashes again, and it shows Shang-Chi fighting Gambit, and then it shows Mystique turning into Yelena, the new Black Widow, and
Mhm.
then at the end, it shows Thor charging at Doom with Stormbreaker, but stops it, and then it shows Steve Rogers show up, and he reaches for a Mjolnir, and it comes to him, and that's the end of the trailer, according to people who have described it online. I'm
Huh.
like, "Okay." And other folks are saying that it sounds like Thor and Captain America are kind of the main people being followed in this movie.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, there's also a couple of things that people have been talking about that, you've read way more Marvel comics than I have. Have you ever read the stuff that goes into the Rune King Thor?
No, I have not. I've not read that kind of Thor stuff. So
Okay.
I'm assuming it's pretty epic though.
Yeah, it sounds like that's gonna play into Doomsday a little bit. And another interesting thing they've been talking about was the big rumor right now is that Robert Downey Jr. Obviously he's being Doctor Doom, but it sounds like we're going to see a variant of him as Iron Man fighting the variant of him as Doom. So if that comes out to be
Okay.
true, that'll be pretty sweet.
I could see him destroying another reality.
Yeah. And then another Secret Wars thing that they recently brought up was they've been describing it. They said it's going to be kind of very reminiscent of WandaVision. They said it's kind of going to be like WandaVision meets What If. And he's going to have the Avengers kind of assembled in this very 1600s looking medieval area where he's kind of in control of a lot of things, Doctor Doom. So that'll be interesting. We also know that before too long, we're going to be getting that Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. And we've already been hearing about all the cameos that are showing up, but the latest, I guess, confirmed cameo is that Claire Temple, aka the Night Nurse, played by Rosario Dawson, is going to show up in this movie. So that's kind of cool.
That's super cool. I love her.
Oh, me too. And then a rumor is that in the post-credit scene, we see the new MCU version of Scott Summers. So I don't know how true that is, but that's kind of the rumor floating around right now.
Oh, okay.
And then the last couple of Marvel things here, the person doing the Spider Noir show said that there's going to be several similar Spider-Man variant series in the works. And this is in addition to the Spider-Gwen and Spider-Punk animated movies that are spinning out of the Spider-Verse movie. So we're going to be getting some other live action in the vein of Spider-Man Noir series. And hopefully this Spider Noir thing turns out pretty good. It looks cool. And if they're going to be making more, you know, hopefully they're good.
Yeah, I'm always kind of weary about this stuff, but I hope it's good.
And speaking of new projects, it sounds like there is not only a new Jessica Jones project in the works, which that makes sense. She's about to show up in the new season of Daredevil, but they mentioned an Alpha Flight project in the works, which
What?
that's pretty cool. Yeah. If we're going to start seeing mutants and stuff, that makes kind of some sense, but I wonder
Yeah.
how quickly they're going to get to that if that's true. I feel like we need to see the X-Men first.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to backdoor Wolverine into the X-Men, technically he
Yeah.
was a member of Alpha Flight before he was a member of the X-Men.
Yeah, that is true. That's one way to do it.
The long way, but sure.
There's not tons of news left, but one thing I definitely wanted to bring up as a fan of Power Rangers since I was a little kid, and then as a person who absolutely loved the comics they've been doing over the past decade, they just announced the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book that's coming out in June is going to be really cool. It's going to basically revisit the original characters, but at a certain point, they kind of retired from being Rangers. And this is 10 years after they retired from being Rangers, some stuff's happening and they had to be brought back. So now these are not teenagers, these are full grown adults with full grown adult lives brought back. It's the original ones brought back to deal with. It says it's a new, more powerful version of Rita Repulsa called Rita Rabiosa, if I'm reading this correctly. But anyway, just reading the premise and seeing the artwork, I cannot wait. It looks awesome.
That's awesome.
And one last thing to talk about, we know that Spaceballs 2 is coming, and the joke has always been since the original, if they ever made a sequel, call it Spaceballs: The Search for More Money or something like that. But Mel Brooks came out, he made a whole video that you can go check out online, and he made a joke about the whole search for more money and all that, but he said the official title is Spaceballs: The New One. So that's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see that. For nothing more than just seeing Rick Moranis being out of retirement, I'm already excited, but I love Spaceballs, so it's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be sad that John Candy's not in it, though.
I know. I'll bet you they pay tribute to him, and I think Josh Gad's character is gonna be his son, I think.
Oh, okay. That would make sense.
All right, you guys, like we said a little bit ago, we have a special guest tonight. Joining us from Hawkins Events and St. Joe RetroCon, I've got Mr. Matt Hawkins. How you doing tonight, man?
Good. How you doing?
We're doing great. So for all of our listeners out in the Kansas City area, we've got this event happening really soon. We're not that far away, St. Joe RetroCon, and there's a lot that's going on. If you're a big fan of, all things retro and some high quality 90s entertainment, this is an event people are not going to want to miss.
That's no joke right there.
Yeah. So I guess let's start with it's in St. Joe, but where can people find this event? Where's it taking place?
So we're going to be at Civic Arena May 2nd and 3rd.
All right. And then, so that's a Saturday and a Sunday. What are the hours on both of those days?
I believe doors are going to be 10 or 11, and we go till about 5:30 or 6, I believe.
Okay, sweet. And
Shorter hours, family time.
Right. And I know for me, like looking at who all you guys have coming, there's some really sweet guests coming. You've got what looks like a handful of some classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guests. You guys have some Resident Evil guests. You've got some anime and other animation guests and some artists and some animators. But yeah, tell our listeners, it looks like on your website, you guys had some really cool VIP packages for each of these different categories.
Yeah.
Tell us all about that stuff.
Yeah. So for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we've got Splinter, we've got Shredder, Michelangelo, Kino, Ernie Reyes Jr., and then
April, right? April 2.
Yes. I'm super pumped on it. So we're going to do a movie screening and pizza party.
Awesome.
And then afterwards, we're going to have a Q&A with the stars.
That's amazing. So yeah, you already kind of mentioned, it looks like, so the voice of Michelangelo, Robbie Wrist, is going to be one of your guests. And the original Shredder from the first movie,
Yes.
James Sato.
Yep.
That's so cool. And then, of course, Paige Turco from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 and 3, right?
Yes.
And she's April O'Neil. And then, of course, Kevin Clash, who's Master Splinter. And funny enough, I have 4 kids. My oldest kid is a high schooler now, but when she was really little, she was obsessed with Elmo. So
Yeah, but also the baby from Dinosaurs.
yeah, the baby from Dinosaurs.
Not the mama.
Right. And then, of course, Ernie Reyes Jr., who was Kino. Man, like I said earlier, 90s fans. This is going to be awesome.
And what's funny is like Ernie Reyes Jr., I've been a fan, Surf Ninjas was great, but my favorite was Pool Halls Junkies, man. I just loved that movie.
That's awesome. And okay, also, you got a handful of Resident Evil folks coming in.
Yeah, the live action actors that did the cutscene movies for that video game. They're pretty rad dudes.
Yeah.
We've got a VIP package with them as well. We've worked together with Unlocked Casey, I believe.
Okay.
We're going to do kind of like one of them escape room type deals. So it'll be all Resident Evil. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
That is awesome.
But that's not even it. We also got the Hive from Wichita.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, like, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it.
That's awesome. Yeah, those guys are super cool. I've met them in a few cons as well.
Yeah. We may not be as big as everybody else, but we really wanted the experience to be there. We wanted you to feel it. We don't want just a bunch of celebrities. We wanted to be an experience. So we kept our ticket prices down. Our VIP prices are down because we want it to be accessible for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And anyone listening, go look at their website because he's not kidding. There's so much to do. It's family friendly. It's affordable. It's going to be fun. And I guess back to these Resident Evil guys, we have Eric Pirius and Charlie Kraslovsky and Greg Smith. So yeah, some really cool cast members from the Resident Evil franchise. If that's your jam, again, another reason to not miss this event. And then over in the world of anime and animation, I know my family is obsessed with things like My Hero Academia. And you guys have Rico Fajardo, who was Togata on My Hero, so that's really cool. Among, if you look at his IMDb, he's been all kinds of
Yeah,
cool stuff.
there's so many,
Yeah.
so
And
many.
and you guys just recently announced we've got Samantha Newark, who's Jem from Jem and the Holograms.
Yes.
That's an
Oh,
awesome
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and then animation-wise, there was still some more people we really wanted to get, but obviously, we don't wanna take away from it too, so it's like, we wanna make sure that people have time, but we've got people already asking to be a part of next year, so that's huge too.
That's great, that's great. And then
Tom Cook.
on the art side of animation, you got Tom Cook, who animated, probably most of our childhoods.
Yeah. There was one other artist I really, really wanted. We've been friends for many, many years on a very big cartoon that has been long running for a long time. However, I just couldn't get it to line up. But yeah, man, that one's going to be super rad because he'll be there next year for sure.
That's awesome. And then again, if people look at your website, you've got artists, you've got cosplayers, all kinds of cool stuff. I guess a few questions I always think to ask you guys is for people listening, what can they expect for maybe what kind of food and stuff will be available for people that show up?
I'm not going to lie. I have not looked at our food vendor
Yeah,
list.
yeah, yeah.
My business partner, Stacy, and our team, Aaron and Mavie, are just fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're great, which has really left me to make sure that, all the contracts and logistic stuff that I've been doing for so long, that's really what I'm about, and then they're taking care
Sure.
of the rest.
Perfect. But there will be some, right?
But yeah,
For
it was like, I think we have 3 or 4 food vendors
cool.
and food truck type deals, but we also got that guy from Missouri, Whiskey Biz, coming with his
Yep.
homemade Batmobile.
That's amazing. And I guess in terms of vendors, will there be lots of vendors there?
Yeah. I mean, we've got some 3D printer people. One of my good friends is going to be there, and he does 3D printing, but he makes custom game cases
Okay.
for displays. So like that's going to be cool. I think that was Casey Retro Game Case or something.
Okay.
Sorry, Tyler. There's just so much going on. It's really going to be great.
Yeah.
We've worked really, really hard to make sure that there was enough for everyone, but we also didn't want to overdo it as well. So it just felt overdone. We wanted to be, in a nice timeline. So our workers and volunteers, they're not working long, long days so they can spend time with their family as well. That's what it's about, just getting
Yeah.
back to the grassroots where families can go out, do really fun things and make memories together and be able to afford it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just remember growing up, like, a lot of times we couldn't do things because it was too expensive, and
For
then
sure.
just seeing how it's been, being in the industry as long as I have, it just makes me sad.
Yep. Well, hey, once again, I can't say it enough. Looking at your guys' website and all your social media, this looks like it's going to be a fun event. So, all of you listeners in this Kansas City area, I mean, you're going to want to check it out. May 2nd, May 3rd, go to the website, look at all the different packages available. If you just want to show up, do it. But if you want some of those VIP experiences, meet the Turtle guys, meet
Yeah,
the
they're
Resident Evil
going.
guys. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, man, any last minute stuff that maybe we didn't say that you feel like the listeners might want to know about your event?
Just it's for you.
Yeah.
It's literally for you, and we hope that you come and experience it.
Yep. Awesome. I know we can't wait to show up and see what it's all about. And we love, all the big events. Those are fun and they're
Yeah,
great. But
look,
these ones that are
there's
like,
a time and a place
yeah,
for everything. I know it, I've seen it, but this one's special. This one is for everyone.
yep. It just looks like it's going to be not only a good time, but an easy time. It's easy to
Yeah.
navigate. You're going to have fun. You're not going to feel crowded.
See, and that's what it's about. Nothing wrong with how things are. People are excited. Those other cons, man, I'm happy for them. They've built over the years. I just don't know if I want to be that size.
Right,
I
right.
really like where we're at. It's manageable, and I never want to give half of an experience. I want to
Yeah,
do everything I can to make it as full as possible.
that's great. Well, hey, let's see. One last time, you guys go to this event, check out their website, St. Joe Retro, go to their social medias. It's going to be May 2nd, May 3rd. Look at their packages, look at their tickets. You are not going to want to miss it. And Matt, thanks for stopping by tonight and just
Oh, dude,
telling
thank
everyone
you
all
so
about
much
it.
for having us.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to connect that weekend, and I look forward to seeing you
Yeah, for
there.
sure.
And listeners, do it. Go do it.
You're gonna want to. You're gonna get mad if you don't, because there are things that we haven't announced.
Yes. The FOMO will be real if you see the stuff after the fact. Well, hey, man, thanks for stopping by.
Hey, anytime, Billy.
That is the news for the week. That was some information about St. Joe RetroCon. Hopefully, you find something to watch, something to read. Maybe you can make your way out to that event on that first weekend in May. But hey, as for us here at the Taylorverse, I've been Billy Taylor.
Yeah, I'm Taylor Oxner.
And come back, guys, next week. Same Taylor channel, same Taylor time.
Bye.
Bye.